Hello, and welcome back to 7th Crown Tarot. My name's Louise, and I'm going to be doing a tarot video for you today. It's going to be a pick a card, and we're going to find out what this pick a card is going to be today. So, angel spirits and guides, please be here with us to protect us and make this space contained in order to bless and protect anyone who's watching this video. And to give them insight into something important that they need to know right now. So what is the general theme, Spirit, that my collective needs help with? Ooh, got one immediately. This has something to do with power. So this is going to be a reading about how you are specifically powerful. How could you best utilize this power going forward? How will that help you? So I'm gonna draw this card in each of the decks here. I have 3 decks, and if you feel more comfortable drawing based or like choosing intuitively a pile based off of items, I also have 3 items that I'm going to be putting down. So just give me a moment. I'm going to find all of these in each of my 3 decks, and I'll also be putting the 3 items down. Okay. Okay, so here are the 3 piles. Pile number 1, you have this beautiful Ace of Wands with gilding on the details. The back of the deck looks like this. Very pretty. It's my favorite. And the necklace would be this one here. These are glass beads. It's sort of like vintagey. Very cool. Pile number 2 is this holographic Rider-Waite version of this. Well, it's a version of the Rider-Waite. Very cool. And this is the back of it. And alongside with that, we have this beautiful Baltic Amber necklace. Love this necklace. And we also have pile number 3, this Ace of Wands. And this is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. It's kind of got more of like an Art Nouveau style to it. The back looks like that. And the necklace that goes along with that one is this wonderful geometric wood bracelet. Not bracelet, necklace. That I found at a thrift store. Chunky, beautiful. I love it. Okay, so pick your pile, and when you're ready, skip to the timestamp down below, or if you want to watch me choose the cards for each, you can stick around for that, but if not, just skip to the timestamp. Alright, see you at your card. Okay, pile number 1. What is your power and how are you meant to use it going forward? Pile number 1, what is your power and how are you meant to use it going forward? What's your power and how are you meant to use it? Going forward. There we go. Nice. Okay, and finally, let's grab from this one. Pile number 1, what is your power and how are you meant to use it? Too many. Please try again, Spirit. Okay, I'm hearing that that's it. Okay, so is there anything else that I can draw for you guys? Let's grab a Healing Waters Oracle. Any extra messages for pile number 1? What is the extra message for pile number 1? Ace of Wands with the Y-Spell Tarot. I'm feeling this one. Okay, so that is going to be for your pile. And if you want to skip to this pile, feel free to do so. And if not, if you're joining me for the rest of the shuffles, it's nice to have you. Pile number 2. This is pile number 3. Maybe pile number 2 is in a rush. Or it goes first or something. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, so pile number 2. What is pile number 2's power and how are they meant to use it going forward? What is pile number 2's power? And how are they meant to use it going forward? Let's see, I think that might be... That's good. What is pile number 2's power? How are they meant to use it going forward? What is pile number 2's power and how are they meant to use it going forward? This one's wanted to be taken out. Quite a bit there. Okay. And is there any final message for pile number 2? Wonderful. Thank you, Spirit. Just gonna pop this somewhere close because we're gonna be using it. that's pile number 2 done. And pile number 3. You have this beautiful Ace of Wands. What is your power, pile number 3? How are you meant to use it? Pile number 3, what is your power and how are you meant to use it? Wow. What a beautiful energy. I feel like there's more. Okay, there we go. Okay, next up is pile number 3. What is your power and how are you meant to use it? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay. Wonderful. And any final message for pile number 3? So funny, I just heard you're doing great if you picked pile number 3. Okay, you got 2. Interesting. All right. So wonderful. Okay, so let's get pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. So if you chose this Ace of Wands and this beautiful necklace here, or maybe either or, this is going to be your pile. Immediately, I'm drawn to the Devil. And I know that like that might seem like a given, right? Because it's such like it seems like a powerful energy. Like whatever we give our energy to, it grows. So I feel like from that statement alone, it's almost as if you've become very discerning with where you put your energy. This could be projects, this could be thoughts, people, but you're very goal-oriented. Here we've got 2 houses, and in this one, it's a castle. So I feel like you're right now using, I heard leveraging. You're leveraging your ability to have control over your focus to manifest, basically. You're using the fact that you've really taken a deep dive into your psyche. You're using that as like fertile ground, like all the lessons that you've learned, for sowing seeds. And you're supposed to teach people going forward. I get that heavy with the judgment. You're supposed to spread the word of this dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it, shadow work, that it's not so bad and that it's not so heavy. Like it's not, it only lasts for a certain amount of time, and then by the time you know it, like you're out of it. It's like really fast. Or maybe you're using this incredible amount of energy that you have specifically. You could be a fire sign. I'm getting specifically Aries and Sagittarius, but you could be also Leo. Or maybe there is a fire sign in your life. I'm also getting Capricorn here with the devil. Um, it's like you have this ability to really work quickly and efficiently at what it is that you want to create, but also you use a plan. And I feel like you don't get too caught up in the details. So your power is that you're able to work powerfully at the things that you want to achieve without fear. There's a lot of like a lack of fear now that you've expressed your there's something about expression here too, like your ability to express despite any kind of threats that might be coming your way from the outside world, um, from people that are trying to judge you and are trying to judge your idea of what a perfect life looks like for you, what an idyllic uh, circumstance looks like to you. Maybe it's something completely different than the norm. You could be a person with a very interesting lifestyle, to say the least, or someone who wants to have a very interesting lifestyle. Maybe you don't want to have kids. Maybe you're not like those kinds of people that are like, hey, like, oh, when I grow up, I want to have a 9 to 5, kids, a car, a house. You could be the kind of person that is traveling away from that. Or, on the opposite end of that, you could be that exact, you could be that stereotype of like someone who really wants that traditional life. Someone who wants just like a nice, calm life in the countryside, with the ability to, really settle down with someone you love, to work towards something beautiful together. So you have this ability to grow something from the ground up. That's one of your superpowers. One of your powers that is innately yours after this time of darkness that you've come out of. You're able to manifest things using this specific kind of energy that you have that's very fiery, and it's almost like you burn something down. You have a tendency to burn things down in order to be able to use that soil to, put some seeds into. You're the kind of person that really enjoys endings. You enjoy putting endings to things, and you don't mind things coming to an end. They come to their conclusion. Something that was supposed to happen, and you're more accepting of that than a lot of other people. This is a power of yours. Now down to these, because I haven't actually looked at them yet. There's a sense of you being able to let go of things, like we said. And you're very uncomfortable in comfortable situations. I can't take it anymore tells me that you, instead of falling into monotony, you don't enjoy that. A lot of people get stuck in monotony and the daily in and out, but this is one of your powers. Some people might see it as a weakness, but for you, it's something to be leveraged, in that you have a wide skill set and you're able to pick up and drop things, whenever you want to. And I heard at the drop of a hat. You're also very dependable, which makes you believable as a professional in whatever it is that you want to go into. Like, you choose something, and because people can depend on you and you show them that they can depend on you, it's only fair that you are seen that way. So that's also why you're being told that, like, moving forward, you might be able to teach other people how to embrace this kind of energy, how to move through the darkness, to change your wings from something that feels heavy and dark and bad to embracing your power as the unique person that you are, but also the infinite being that you are. You're showing other people that it's okay to be a divine person connected to your spiritual self, and that they can be authentic, and that authenticity isn't a bad thing. When you leave people's lives, they realize the fact that they were grasping at you. So one of your powers is how much of an influence you have over people. And it seems as though this is not for no reason. So that could be kind of a Leo quality if we think about it. Because a Leo is someone who's kind of the center of attention, right? They're very influential in that way. They're kind of a celebrity. So you have this celebrity aspect to you. You have this really distinct quality of drawing people in and having everyone surrounding you and celebrating you. And when someone isn't celebrating you, or you feel that there's a lot of tension in you being yourself, just the way that you are, because that's going to bother some people that don't accept that in themselves, you split away from them. You split away from those kinds of situations that try to bully you into submission. Because it's not your job to dim your light to a level that allows for other people's like their ability to see it. Like they can only let in so much light because they haven't delved into their darkness. And you're not here for those people. You're here for those people that that want to be pulled up by your light. I feel very much like you have reached a point in your life that you just don't care. You don't care about appeasing people. You don't care about what people see. Because it's not about what people see for you anymore. You could have been a very self-conscious individual for a very long time. And maybe it really bothered you. I see someone here that's in a lot of distress in the past. Where it's like, you did feel hopeless. You felt like you were drowning in these emotions. And now that you're out of it, you're able to see when other people are experiencing that and want to get out. So, what else do we have here? A castle with a moat and split. And we have a castle right here. And there's water coming from it. So it's almost like there's a castle with a moat here. You're not allowing any more bullshit into your life. Like, you're not allowing people in who prove themselves to not enjoy your company. They're very false and depressing. They're dark and depressing. They're like a black hole. You don't want to feel drained after you see people. That's a really good indicator of if someone is meant to be in your life or not for the long run. If you're feeling drained every time you communicate with somebody, then, like, you're the type of person to just very quickly decide that you don't want to have this person in your castle. Because you're building a castle right now. You're very protective of yourself and the people around you. And if anyone messes with that, like, protection, it's not even that you'll attack them. You'll just build up, or like, you'll draw up the bridge. And that bridge will no longer be available because you can only put down the bridge from the inside. And yeah, someone can come and visit the bridge and call out all they want for you to, lay it down, but you're showing a lot of discipline with boundaries. So this is one of your powers, that you're able to show a lot of discipline with boundaries. You're able to show a lot of restraint, self-restraint that in the past people might have been able to pull that out of you, where, they tried to make you feel bad for their own shortcomings, their own unwillingness to venture into the dark. And that's where this split comes in. You've gone into a different direction. You've switched timelines into this really inspiring person that people can look up to. And not in like an arrogant, egotistical way, but just like you're willing to share whatever it is that people need to know. If they come to you with questions, you'll answer them. But this is also, I feel like you're one of those people that if someone doesn't listen to your advice and they came asking you for advice, they can only cry so many times to you before you kind of, again, draw up that bridge and you're like, well, I mean, you asked me a question, I answered it, and now you're bothering me again with some other question or the same question, and you're crying about it. Like, what happened to the last thing that we talked about? Like, and it turns out that it's still unresolved, right? And so that kind of, it's defeating. That happens to all of us, where we have these people that just leech onto us for our energy. So, is there any question that I can ask here? What is it that pile number 1 is currently working on right now? You're working on closing out a cycle. Could I get more clarification around the world? And this could be with another person, because we do get the King of Cups. So what is the most possible near future? The Emperor, that is a really good sign. Getting your control back. There could have been someone here that was using manipulative tactics or just emotional tactics in order to keep you stuck and this other person stuck. It could have been just to try to mess with your emotions. We got the 4 of Cups here. But both of you are no longer, or maybe it's just you're no longer falling for this bait, because we do have a fish here. You're no longer falling for the bait. The bait is no longer, it doesn't look tasty. It just looks like an old dead worm. and you're ready to go out into the world, so you will. So I definitely see a comeback of you having your control again in whatever situation that you're closing out. You could be moving also with the Eight of Wands. And I really do see like a new home here, because there is a home twice emphasized, and it's different from the one that's here. So it's almost like a transitional period from like whatever you're in right now to like a lot more stable of a place with this other person. So I also have a final message for you, and we have the Well Maidens. So, the Well Maidens. $148. Throughout history, there have been people who have tended and protected our life-giving wells. In the lands of what is today the United Kingdom and Europe, many of these sacred wells were named after goddesses, including Brigid, Danu, Solis, and Anu, before they were absorbed by Christianity. If you sit at these wells, you may feel the wisdom of each of these ancient peoples echoing into these waters, which remain protected. The Euclidation is an old poem that tells of guardians who fulfill this holy role across the land. A greedy king and his men violated the Well Maidens, the guardians of the kingdom's wells, and took more than they needed. They ignored the sacred contract of respecting the Well Maidens and the waters of the sacred wells, and as a result, the kingdom became desolate and barren. The Well Maidens are the keepers of harmony and balance. They respect the sacred waters, and as a result, they give plenty. They deliver a message about the importance of these qualities in the way we treat ourselves, others, and the nature, and that sustains and supports us. They remind us to slow down and offer kindness and respect to others, the earth, and ourselves each and every day. And the soul inquiry is, how can you offer kindness and respect to yourself, the earth, and others today? So, key words were something about someone like violating something. There could have been some sort of like soul contract between you and a third party, and it was violated by this third party who had choices that they could have made, and they chose to keep going in the direction that they were going in, which was not helping them. It's almost like you... Okay, so this is something that is recurring in your life. Because this isn't just a one-time thing. I'm getting that this is like something that happens again and again in your life. You're this Well Maiden. You're one of these Well Maidens. You come into people's lives to rejuvenate them, to give them a new perspective. And some of these people, instead of taking this perspective and respecting it, these values that you reflect, some of them don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate it, and they piss in the well, so to speak. Like, they do disrespectful things to something where it's like you have this connection to this like life-giving well, and source or whatever is trying to speak through you. You could be a channeler. We do have this woman here that's got like a light, and then she's got her hands that are lit up too. So you could be like a person that's really in tune with their spirituality. And you really try to help other people to get in tune with their own spirituality. Maybe these are people that have kind of disconnected from their role. And you see you've got a very like motherly feeling to you, because we do have this like womb almost here. Like you are connected to the divine feminine, whether you're masculine or feminine. There's like a deep feminine here, an appreciation of creation, and the fact that everyone here has a role. And you don't necessarily, like we said earlier about when someone comes and disrespects you, you'll draw up the bridge instead of attacking back, because you have such a deep respect for all things, all people, all creatures. And you're not here to hurt people, you're here to help them. So that was your pile. Those were your messages, and I hope that you enjoyed that. If you want to give back in any kind of way, feel free to like and subscribe, or just leave a little comment. Liking is usually the easiest way to show appreciation. And I'll see you again soon. Have a good morning, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye! Hello, pile number 2. So nice to have you. So this is your card, the Ace of Wands. It's super holographic, really cool. And if you chose with the necklace, this is the Baltic Amber necklace. I actually, my dad got this for me on one of his trips to Poland. It's very pretty. I love it. So, what is your power? And what are you meant to do with it? We got some expression. We got some like specifically something about expressing yourself. And I feel like your superpower is that you have this ability to express yourself despite any kind of fears surrounding it. And as you do this, it creates you unlimited abundance. You're here to face your fears, yes, but you're also here to create community. So your power is the kind of is to set an example to people that it takes work in order to fully embrace who it is that you are. But once you've done that work internally, through like external actions, so let's say like maybe you're giving a presentation, maybe you're speaking up when you're in a group of people, and you know, it might not necessarily be like something that everybody in that group of people agrees with. Maybe you have some sort of like opinions or something that goes against the norm. You could have like also different kinds of ideas that you're trying to share with the world, and there is a group of people that will come towards you to lift you up, because this is something very brave that you're doing here. You that's so funny. Okay, so we have 3 cards here. One of them is I can't express myself, I can't talk to you right now, and then I wish I could be fully honest with you. So this seems like something that you've struggled with your whole life, where you've struggled to be honest with people about who it is that you are. Because every time that you're honest with people, it might have been like a specific person in your life that had kind of beaten this home for you, where you shouldn't express yourself. and that you should just keep it all internal in your mind, that you should worry about how people look at you. But this isn't something that you're doing anymore. You're here to, and I'm getting this example, I'll tell you in a second. You're here to express yourself freely and to allow other people to feel like they can too, especially around you. So you're here to make space for people to be able to joyfully express themselves and be who it is that they want to be. If they like whatever, they can talk about it to you. They can bounce ideas off of you. And you won't be like, that thing is stupid. Instead, you'll rejoice at the fact that they've decided to embrace this thing about themselves to you, because there are very few safe spaces in this world where we can really truly express ourselves. I would argue that YouTube is one of those places where you can freely express yourself, and you will always find your niche, your group of people that really want to hear what you have to say. But what I was going to go to say before, when I veered off, is this reminds me of this one Instagram, I don't know if he's specific to Instagram, but he goes and does portraits of people on the street. And they're really beautiful portraits. Like, he is really good at portraits. But he sits these people down, sets up a camera, and does an interview with them, and asks them why they are who they are, what they love, and it's specific to self-expression. So you're really interested in other people and their ability to self-express. You are making space for these people because you've made space for yourself. And so you're passing on that baton. You're passing it on to the next person so that they can fully grow. And then when that person fully grows, they can pass it on to the next person. So that's your power here. And it's funny that this is the Ace of Wands. It's like, this is a baton. This is something that Spirit gave to you. And it's also, you see it in other people. You see this potentiality within other people to express themselves in a way that's missing in this world, where it's different, it's unique, it's truthful. It's truthful of something that people are really lacking and yearning for, which is to break out of this expectation of everyone being perfect and having some sort of specific kind of aesthetic. I get like clean girl aesthetic. So, but for men, it's almost also like I don't know, like a guy who goes to the gym and is like super muscular. Like, maybe you're different. Maybe you instead like have like a certain kind of like aesthetic that feels good to you but might not be societally acceptable. So in that way, like, you're being that for someone. But I also get with this King of Pentacles, there's like this power to the way that you appear in this world. However it is that you express yourself is also powerful, because it goes against the fact that someone is going to look at you, because it could be very extreme. If it's not extreme, it's that you enter rooms with a lot of power. And like, if someone was to go and bully whoever it is that is expressing themselves, you will stand up for them. And not just that, but like you'll take them away from that. And, you know, you'll point out just how silly that is, or, you know, like to them in private. You won't want to try to start a fuss. This all seems very like quiet power. Like you have this quiet power to you. So what else do we have here? Yours had quite a few cards. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's just take these four for a moment. You embrace always being different at things and being mislabeled. People could think that you're crazy for being okay with being a beginner at something. And being okay with being lost at something. Not being perfect. Not being like the perfect human. I get that a lot with these. You're okay with being the underdog. There's a strong emphasis on you being there's a lot of like growth mentality, but then also you have this like connection to spirit with 777, which is like a really divine number. It's like a connection with the divine. They're kind of orchestrating your life. But then also with 11, that reminds you of like the Four of Wands. And also, I think that's Aquarius. I think that might be the Aquarius number. But it's like you're very you're forward thinking. When I think of an Aquarius person, they're not afraid of setting new trends. They're your friend that suggests something really out there, but then when you hear them say it, it's like you see where it's coming from. I almost get the idea of like Kanye West. Like he gives me like Aquarius vibes. If you want to look more into Aquarius, you should look it up. You could be an Aquarius. I don't get any more signs here for people. Interesting. Okay, let's see if I can fit this. Yes, I can. Like we were mentioning earlier, people really they underappreciate you, but they also you probably have it in your head. But it's like they don't see you for who you are. I forget what the word is. It's lost. But they don't. It really comes at like a detriment to them, because by the time that they realize that all these things that they thought about you were wrong, it's too late, because you've already decided to cut them out of your life or to stop giving to them. You're really good with making decisions. Before something catastrophic happens, it's like you've got this higher vision thinking, which allows you to see far ahead. You're also really good at planning things. You're good at planning things and making things just make sense. And this comes from, it could be like because of your past experiences. We do have that siren going on in the background. So it's almost like you've been through really awful experiences in the past, and you've noticed that when you don't make decisions that you're supposed to make, you like think bad things happen, right? And this isn't from a place of fear. It's just you've now got this like intuitive hit. When it's time to go, you go. When it's time to slow down, you slow down. So you're okay with not taking on some sort of label. Everyone wants to put a label on you, but you're out here being all things at once, and no one can quite put their finger on who it is that you are, because all they know and how they can like define you is just that you're, I don't know what, like, I guess with this I get the word like special, but like you're not special in that way. Like you're special in like you're really something else. Like when we had this King of Pentacles and I was talking about how when you walk into a room your presence is felt. There's something special about your energy that you can take one small thing and turn it into like 100 other things. Like with this bee, when I think of the bee, I think of how they have their beehive with like the hexagonal, I think it's hexagonal, like the honeycomb shape, and it's so like efficient. You're very efficient with what you think and why you think the way you think. It's like this is all coming into, there's like some sort of balance here that you've achieved. And you're showing people that you don't have to be seen as an extreme person in order to express yourself. Like some people might see it that way, but the way that you express it shows people that that's not at all what it is. You're expressing yourself with the proper amount of balance, and also I get that you're very aware of what situations are like appropriate for you to be expressing yourself a certain amount, or like you'll tailor your style or your expressiveness to that situation in a way that is aligned with who you are. So what is this final message for pile number 2? The ripple effect. Part of something bigger. Details are taken care of. So I definitely feel like you understand that you embracing who it is that you are means that you're part of something bigger. And it's almost like a role that you play in this lifetime, that so that other people can see themselves in you, as opposed to being like better than people, because that's not it at all. You don't seem like someone who thinks that they're better than people. You just seem like someone who's trying to show people what's possible. Specifically when you let go of fear. When wind blows into water, ripples are formed. If the wind is consistent and strong enough, those ripples become waves, and those waves have the potential to gather momentum every step of the way. This card delivers the message of the ripple soon to become a wave. You're playing your part in the collective ocean of change. Maybe you know the part you play, or perhaps it's not clear. Your role in the collective ocean matters, and you're having an impact by the way you're showing up to your path. See, this has a lot to do with how you're showing up. The way that you're showing up is very influential in the collective, and even to the people that are right now still asleep, because this almost looks like a woman that's asleep, and there's a reflection here. She reflects the cosmos. She reflects the truth of it. The fact that we are all connected, And I almost see a beetle here. And beetles remind me of, um, Egypt. And Egypt, like the ancient Egyptians, had a connection to the cosmos. They believed that they went back into, what was it, the Osiris? Was it Osiris? Yeah, there's something there about that. Something about ancient Egypt. I wonder why that came up. That's interesting. Also, something about the dung beetle. But why the dung beetle? That could be a sign for you to look up. The ripple effect card could be a sign that a project or creation is becoming a bigger success than you may have previously thought it would be. Or it could be a sign that you're part of something much bigger than just you. Perhaps you're one drop in a giant ocean, part of a constellation of souls. Oh my goodness, just what I said. Here to create an impact on this world. Well, similar to what I said. So I mentioned a constellation. The momentum is building. The details are being taken care of. Something's swelling and growing. Don't get lost in the details. Rather, trust that momentum is building and will continue to do so. Swim your own race. Don't look around you. Something's happening, and you're an important part of it. Success and momentum are on their way. That is really interesting because I was going to end the reading. But there's something here telling you that whatever it is that you're doing here, the example that you're setting, it's having such a large impact that you're starting to create this community that's swarming around you and lifting you up. It's like that expression of, I don't know if this is the expression, but it's like when you jump into the universe's arms, it will catch you, and you just kind of have to trust it. So that is your reading, pile number 2. And if you enjoyed this reading, I would definitely appreciate it if you liked this video or left a small comment. That would help me quite a bit to reach more people who need to hear this message. And if you like to get a private reading, I also offer those. And my email is down below, and you can email me for a list of rates. And if this is where we end off, then I wish you a good morning, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye guys! Hello, pile number 3. I was about to say pile number 2. Pile number 3, you chose this beautiful Ace of Wands. And you also chose, if you chose by necklace, you chose this wonderful geometric wooden necklace. Kind of smells like someone's perfume. I did also get that one from a thrift store, so that's probably why. Okay, so pile number 3. There's a lot of interesting energy here. I'm just gonna think for a moment and absorb whatever it is that's here so that I can give you a message. Give me a moment. So, you're keeping your eye on what's important right now. You have this ability to always be grateful no matter what it is that you're going through. With this Empress and the Moon, with the 10 of Swords right below it, it's like even when you're going through the darkest of times, you're always looking for ways to feel free, to dance with life. You have this joyfulness to you. It comes from your inner child, but it also comes from the fact that you've healed many times over. And you've distanced yourself from things that you had to distance yourself from. You've gone through so many different evolutions. Um, you've made many choices to move on and to invest in things that bring you happiness, that make you feel lighter, because she's dancing here. And it's like you have this ability to like dance with life that almost seems beyond the physical plane. So your power here is that to those around you, you might seem almost like a mythical being. This Ace of Wands also has, I believe those are datura flowers. If you look at those, like, no, those are angel's trumpet. And that, if consumed, I believe causes like hallucination. And then around here, it's almost like a hallucination, right? There's like castles and stuff. So I feel like you have this ability to enchant, and you use it in order to get out of sticky situations, but you also use it on yourself so that you can get through these hard situations where you're not being treated fairly, or someone's taking advantage of you, or someone is trying to drag you down. Someone's trying to make you feel devalued. So this power allows you to step beyond the boundaries of life, step beyond your limitations that other people are trying to impose onto you, but also some that you can see that you're imposing onto yourself. So you take time to reflect. There's a lot of reflection here in the darkness. Like, you constantly reflect on your abilities, but also like you're not delusional about those abilities. You're aware of where you are, but you will use certain kinds of like tactics in order to get beyond the mind and convince it to step onto different paradigms. So there's this like really almost like alchemist feeling I'm hearing. Like you're an alchemist. You've transformed from some simple, not simple, but like someone that people really like underestimated. Did I talk about that in this one? People underestimate you. People underestimate you. Maybe on the outside, for the longest time, they saw you really struggling to be anything more than a page. And you were always in the dark. Something was kind of always plaguing you. But then you made one decision. You made a decision one day that made all the difference. Or maybe this is something coming up where it's like you will make a decision that just changes everything. And maybe this is something that you also think about. It's like it only takes one decision to change everything. It only takes one person to change everything. The passion I feel is overwhelming. I don't know how to handle this. Don't treat me the way that you do. I don't deserve it. I need to hold back my true feelings for you. Life is a mess right now. My goodness. My goodness. These cards on the bottom, it's like these are the people that are projecting onto you that you can't do things. That you can't succeed, that you can't do this, that you can't do that. How you are is how you'll always be. But the thing is that you are not them. You're not them, and you're not, like, you've never operated like them. And I think a lot of people project their pain onto us. And I feel like the fact that the Ten of Swords is the only one left from, like, these were the cards that I pulled, and this was the only one left with all of these. It's like these people might come at you with their swords, but you always get up. You always get up from the pain. And you understand that all it takes to heal is a little bit of self-reflection, to look into these waters. And that some people just haven't done that self-reflection. So I also get that one of your powers is that you understand people. You understand and forgive people's inability to face their deepest shadows, to stay stuck, to stay stagnant. Because a lot of people are trapped by fear of whatever is in these unknown waters that you've explored, and you've seen, hey, they're just a bunch of like small minnows, or they're just a bunch of little fish, and I'm not food to them, because, like, if anything, they're food for me. I can eat these fish, and they're very nutritious. That's your mindset about going into the dark night of the soul. And that would benefit a lot of people if they thought about it that way. Of this place where you can gain nutritional wealth, you know? Or like, instead of it being like a place to avoid, you show people that it's a place to dance in, to dance with. And that's actually, I think a lot of your power comes from the fact that you've been like an example of the fact that you can go from being a nobody to a somebody. Not saying that you were a nobody, but it's almost like some people saw your potential, but a lot of people that were in your life that had this energy of stagnancy and pain that haven't reflected, these people didn't see you that way because they couldn't see you that way, because they couldn't see themselves that way. And so I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people. And you're supposed to go forward in telling that story. Telling that story of never forgetting. This gives me the vibe of like a poppy. This feels like a poppy. She's holding it and she's remembering where she used to be. And that now it's like, this is a story, because these don't look very real. These are just like almost like storybook vines with flowers on them. And I don't know, what are those? Like some sort of fruit. So it's like you tell this story of like, yes, you're going to have pain, but at the end of this pain, it's all going to blossom into something beautiful and you can use it. And it's not something that's scary in the long run. The scary thing is being swallowed up into this wave of water, this wave of emotions, when you haven't worked on it. Oh, sorry, I think I wasn't showing that to the camera. Weird. Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to it. But yeah, see, there's like the flower, and then these don't actually look real. They're just flat. You have this huge backstory, and that's one of your powers. You have a backstory and you carry it with pride. You've gotten to this point now where you're past these painful moments with these people, because I almost feel like you've also resolved a lot of these relationships that weren't doing you any good, in some form or fashion. Maybe you're still working on that. But it seems like for the most part, this is like water under the bridge. Like, you've forgiven and forgotten, or maybe not forgotten, but you've forgiven these people, and you're okay with it, you know, whatever it was that happened. Yeah, you just want to have fun now, because your life has been so serious up until this point, and you're just like, well, that's it, I've done all my serious work, and now it's time to have fun. And I think people on the outside are seeing this, as they always have, as you're going to be poor. You're going to, you're not going to have enough money doing this thing that you love doing. Why would you bother doing that? They're just projecting, right? And you're this example of like hard to read and rat. You're this example of somebody who can succeed doing what they love. So you could be this could be you. This could be a message coming from the divine telling you, yes, keep going on what it is that you're doing right now. Because you are showing up as the Empress. And I forget which sign that is. I believe the Empress is Taurus. I could be wrong. But you're showing up as this abundant energy. And of course it's going to bother some people, especially when it like breaks their paradigm, their understanding of what existence here means. Like, which I don't understand. I mean, like, there are so many people out there doing things that they love for money. So maybe you come from like a really traditional household where the only reasonable way to make money is, through trading your time for money. But you're not going to be like that. It's like the opposite is going to happen for you. You're going to trade your value for money. And that doesn't necessarily, it's not contingent upon time. Like, it's not depending on the amount of time you put in. It's an initial investment, and then it multiplies on its own because the amount of abundance it gives to people. Hard to read and rat. Rat is a very simple word. So one of the first words that we would learn, right? Like eat. These are very simple-minded people. That's how I read that. You're not a simple-minded person. You might just, okay, you know what this is reminding me of? When they say, and I don't know if this is completely true, but they say that if you're very simple-minded, then you will only enjoy, again, I don't know if this is true, so don't come for me in the comments, that you'll only enjoy like potty humor and stupid things like that, right? But if you're like medium amount of intelligence, then you'll only enjoy like high intelligence humor, right? Because you have something to prove. But then when you're like really smart, you'll enjoy both because you have nothing to prove, and you see like the funniness in both things. You can see from many different perspectives. You can hold many different perspectives at once, and so that makes it kind of funny, right? Because it's funny for the sake of being funny. So maybe this is you. You could have a really really, interesting sense of humor. You could really like British humor, or I don't know why, but I'm specifically getting like Trailer Park Boys, like stuff like that, where it's like trailer trashy like humor. Like you might really like that, like Beavis and Butthead and stuff. Something really stupid. Like you could be really into that, and like people might be kind of looking down for you for that. I don't know why. That's a specific confirmation for somebody. Okay, so final messages. Let It Go. Elsa's, what's it called? The song. And I don't remember what it is, but because I've actually never seen that movie. The Pearl. 112. Alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. Look at you. Yes, that's you. 112. 112? 112. The Pearl. Pearls are one of the most precious treasures of this world, and certainly of the sea. I'll hold it for you so you can see it. While the specifics of their creation remain a mystery, they're believed to be the result of a natural process. Certain mollusks produce pearls as a way of protecting themselves from irritants that enter their shells. The formation of a natural pearl is a rare occurrence, with only one in roughly 10,000 oysters producing one, and it can take anywhere from 6 months to several years. Wow, I didn't know that. This card brings a precious message that something sacred is being created, and it's likely being created by you. Maybe you've been creating something in the physical, such as a child, a home, or bringing an idea to life. Or perhaps your pearl is more metaphorical than that. Having dedicated yourself to alchemizing your hardships into healing, grit into grace. Whatever it is, you're being acknowledged for your work and the deep roots required to truly rise. Kila was a Celtic goddess of beauty, love, and the ocean, and it was believed she could be found in every 9th wave. Wow, we mentioned wave before. It's said that the people would whisper their wishes and prayers into small pearl offerings, placed within a shell and tied with seaweed, and then cast them into the sea on the 9th wave in the hope that the goddess would grant their prayer. Offer up your prayers to Kila for the alchemy to continue to happen. The jewel at the end is near. And the healing waters activation is, I am ready to receive the jewels of my life. I'm ready to alchemize my hardships into healing and my grit into grace. That's beautiful. I've actually never drawn that card yet. And we also got Let It Go. And Let It Go is on page 100. Okay. So, it says, let it go, release the past. Forgive, soften, and move forward. And we did get a message about forgiving. Change is one of the most difficult things for our heart and mind to accept. Maybe you're on the brink of an ending, a hurt, or a loss. Or perhaps you experienced an ending in the past but are still carrying the pain within your heart and your mind. Just as the shoreline doesn't try to hold on to the sea, this card comes with encouragement to begin the process of letting go. Letting go is rarely something that happens in an instant. More often, it's a process that can take days, weeks, months, or even years. The process always begins with a willingness and a wanting to be free of what once was. Holding on to an emotion such as sorrow, anger, or disappointment is a normal part of the process, and in order to be free of it, we must first feel it fully. So this could be, you might need to journal. That might be helpful. Emotions are feelings in motion. They're not meant to be stagnant. Water is the same. It wants to move and flow. When we allow our emotions to be there fully, they rarely last long, as they would do if we repressed them. When we avoid endings for whatever reason, the symbolic waters within us can build up and become stagnant. Call upon the waters within you to flow freely. Let the dammed walls of past hurts come tumbling down. Let the waters within you travel out into the world. Let them find their way past stones and riverbanks. New streams are calling you forth. Let the ocean call you home. And the soul inquiry was, what are you willing to let go of? So you can be having a really hard time letting go of something right now. And that's okay. It's very normal to have a hard time letting go of things, especially when we love them. And They hold a deep part of our soul in them. Like, it could be a very big part of your story. How it got you from where you were to where you are. But just know that this is something that's supposed to happen, that everything will be okay, and, you can let it go, and everyone will be okay. Okay, so that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you really liked this reading, feel free to leave a like and comment down below. If you like the way I read, you can also subscribe. I also have personalized readings. My email is down below. And if this is where I leave you, I hope you have a good morning, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay,